Hey my crafty friends, I'm back today with another soda can craft project. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I enjoy making jewelry out of all sorts of recycled materials, and I've come up with a new design for some earrings made from soda cans. So for each pair of earrings you're going to need one flattened soda can, and if you need some tips on how to work with soda cans, how I break them down, how I flatten the sheets, a lot of different ways that I get started preparing the cans for my craft projects, you can link to a free little mini course that I will put in the description. So the starting point is one flat sheet, and then you're going to need a ruler, and you want to square off one of the edges. So you can just use a regular ballpoint pen to mark your line, and then I'm just going to use a regular pair of scissors to trim off that edge. And now I want to take my straight edge and I'm going to mark another line at 2 inches. And we'll be working with the 2-inch piece. You will need a little bit of this other piece, so just set it aside. So I want to mark just on the bottom edge here 1/4 of an inch, a little mark, and then I'm going to turn the piece over and make another mark 1/4 of an inch. So I've got a mark here and a mark at the opposite corner. And then I'm going to draw a straight line from point to point. And then I can go ahead and cut my piece along that line. So each piece has a corner with a 90-degree angle and straight piece, and then the other edge slopes downward. So I'm going to take a small dowel now, and I want to just start to roll the wide end of my taper here around the wooden dowel here. And you want to keep it even, because this is what's going to allow you to roll the piece straighter. So you want to make sure that you're not rolling, one end farther than the other. You want to keep it pretty straight. And then I'm just going to roll it all the way to the metal. So I have one kind of full turn here. And if you get started kind of crooked, you can kind of straighten it back out. So you see I've got too much folded on this side and not enough on the other. So you can just kind of work your way, pressing the metal into the dowel until you have it fairly straight, so that you'll get a nice coil when you're rolling. So now you can see that there's a little corner sticking up here, and just to make the bead finish a little nicer, I'm going to trim that off. So I'm just going to line my scissors up with this edge here and trim off that little bit of excess metal. For this next step, you're going to need a bead roller, and you need a fairly big bead roller. So you need this rolling portion of the bead roller to be at least 2 inches, because you have a 2-inch measurement here, and you need the whole thing to fit on there, otherwise it won't roll smoothly. But before I put it on the bead roller, I want to add a little bit of tape to the end. So I just have a little strip, it's about 3 inches long, that's cut in a little bit of a taper of just clear cellophane tape here. And I'm going to put that on the tip of my metal. You want to make sure that it's on there straight so that you're not getting tape where you don't want it when you roll up the piece. And now you can see this is my straight edge and this is my tapered edge or my sloped edge. I want the straight edge down toward the bottom of my bead roller. And then when you're doing the first turn with this, you have a lot of metal on here, so you really need to kind of try to hold your bead roller tight. You can see how it's kind of opening up here, and I want to make sure that the metal is held smoothly and tight so that I can roll it. And once you get it rolled just one time, the metal will hold the bead roller shut. And then you can just continue rolling. And you want to keep your straight edge smooth, and you want to let the tapered edge just kind of taper down as you roll this metal up. It doesn't matter if you slide off a little bit, you can flatten out the bottom once you take it off the bead roller, but you want to try to keep that edge smooth at the bottom here. And you do need to hold everything nice and tight. And then once you get to the tape, you're just going to continue rolling, and that is going to hold the whole thing together. And then you can remove it from the bead roller. And you can see here I have a little bit of the bottom that isn't lined up, so I'm just going to press it onto the table, which will flatten it out and keep it have a nice flat shape to the bottom. And then I'm going to take my round tipped jewelry pliers and just kind of reshape this inner piece right here. I'm just going to do that by sliding it onto my jewelry pliers, and that pushes that metal back into a nicer round shape. And if you need to, you can flatten the bottom again. So I'm just going to repeat that process with my second taper here. And I'm just using really inexpensive packing tape for my tape here. You do have to use your scissors to cut it into the right dimensions, but it's not fancy tape or anything. So again, I'm going to slide it all the way on my bead roller and then just kind of hold the bead roller tight and shut until I get the first coil wrapped around. If you don't already have a bead roller, I will put a link in the description for a really simple tutorial on how to make your own bead rollers. I did make this one by hand, and the bigger they are, the sort of trickier the handle is. But I have a very simple tutorial on how to make a smaller bead roller, and you can probably adapt that to make a larger one if you're interested. You can see I'm kind of sliding way off on this one, but I think it'll be okay. I think I'll be able to push it back into shape when I get it off of here. So there you can see I got it nice and flat, and then I'm just going to fix the top a little bit by pushing that metal back out. So I've got my two tapers made from the aluminum now. The next thing I want to do is take some 20 gauge wire, and I just need two pieces that are 3 inches long. So I'm going to straighten it out a little bit here, and then just measure and cut my two 3-inch pieces. And what I want to try to do is make just a little T shape so that when I run this through, it's going to get caught. You could also make just a loop if you wanted to, but I've decided that I want to make sort of more of a T shape. So what I'm going to do is take my needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to grab them at the very tip. And I've got the wire lined up even with my pliers. And I'm just going to bend that little section. And then I want to flatten it out. So you can see I've got just the tiniest little hook bent over on the wire. And then I'm going to grab the needle or the wire right at the end of that curved part and bend the wire up and then flatten that. I've kind of got two folds back on each other, and then I'm going to grab it on the side again and bend the wire up to make my T shape. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'll repeat that on my second wire. So now I've got my two little T wires. And now I'm going to take the extra piece of aluminum that I had, and I need just a single punch, hole punch. And I'm just going to punch 2 holes. And now I just have a little pad here. This is just a folded bit of t-shirt and a piercing tool, and I just want to punch a hole right in the center of both of these little circles. And once you punch the holes, you've probably bent your piece a little bit. And I just like to use the cap of my glue stick here to flatten them back out. So I'm going to put one little sequin that I made here with the print facing the little T portion of my wire. It's probably hard to see with this color, but that's the pink side facing the T. And I'll repeat that on this with this piece. And then I'm going to use my glue stick and a toothpick here. And this isn't really to hold any, it's kind of just to make it not slip around. So this isn't going to be a permanent hold, but I just want to put a little bit of the glue here on the end of my taper. And then I can slide the wire through the tapered bead here and pull that little sequin that I cut into the glue and try to make sure that it's lined up with the bottom. And you can get off the excess glue if you've squeezed some out. So you have a little more finished end now than just having the coils show. So now I'm going to use a little bit of bonding resin. You could probably use super glue or something too if you wanted to, but I just want to make sure that this bottom section is going to stay together and hold in place. And I want to kind of finish off this little T that I've made. So I'm just putting a drop on here, and then I want to let the resin kind of even out and settle a little bit so that I don't have, you know, it kind of levels itself. So once you get it fairly smooth, you can go ahead and just add a little bit of the UV light to cure the resin. To finish off the top so that it's not got a gigantic hole there that looks kind of unsightly, I just have a matching bead that I'm going to slide on here. And you can see that it's kind of moves around too, so I want to add a little bit of resin. I want to get it centered and then add a little bit of the resin and again I'm going to let it settle here because I want it to kind of wrap around the whole edge here, and then we'll put the UV light on it and hold those two pieces together. So now I have a little nicer finish to the top of the earring here. And then to finish this off, I'm going to just fold this at a 90-degree angle. And then I want to trim my wires to about 5/8 of an inch. And if you do this enough, you'll get to where you can kind of eyeball it. But you don't need a lot of wire. And then you're just going to take your round-tipped pliers and roll a loop back to the fold. So that you have a nice little ring on the end. And then I'm just going to take my two pairs of needle nose pliers and grab one of my jump rings. You got to find the little opening, and then you're just going to twist to open that jump ring. And you can add your earring and your earring hook and close off the jewelry ring just the way you opened it. And then you've got one earring ready to go. You don't have to do this next step, but I'm going to put a finishing coat of high gloss Mod Podge on mine. You could also coat them with resin if you wanted to, or some other sealer. I like the Mod Podge just because it's really easy to work with, and it adds a little bit of adhesion to the whole thing just to help hold it together. So my last step here is just to grab my junky paintbrush and my high gloss Mod Podge, and I'm just going to brush a thin coat over both of these pieces and then hang them up to dry. So that's it for today's video. Be sure to check the description box. I've got lots of extra resources there. There's a place to sign up to receive the Upcycled Design Lab newsletter. And you can also get to the free mini course that I mentioned on how to work with aluminum cans. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.